You know, in the world of sports, you've got the stories that just explode out of nowhere, and then you've got the arguments that have been simmering forever. Well, today, we're getting into both, from a wild federal investigation that's shaking things up to that eternal question, who really is the GOAT?
And that right there? That's how one host put it when the bombshell news dropped. It's a single sentence that just perfectly captures the chaos, the shock, and this is a story that's really just getting started. And look, this isn't just gossip. We're talking federal agents, real stakes, potential prison time, and careers worth millions of dollars that are suddenly hanging by a thread.
And then, we're going to flip the script completely. We're going from the cold, hard facts of a federal case to the heated, passionate debates that, let's be honest, have no right answer. We're talking about the arguments over who is truly the greatest of all time.
This is where those sideline stories become the main story. So, let's break down the first big controversy. Okay, first up, the scandal. There's this alleged widespread gambling ring involving pro athletes, and it brings up one huge, absolutely baffling question. And this is the part that it doesn't make any sense, right? You have these athletes with multi-million-dollar contracts. Why would they risk everything for what amounts to a few $1,000s? The math just doesn't add up, and honestly, that's what makes this whole thing so fascinating.
So a few names got thrown into the mix during the investigation, but the one that really made everyone's jaw drop was Chauncey Billups. I mean, a respected head coach. His alleged involvement just sent shockwaves, because he was supposed to be the guy who knew better, the responsible one.
You can just feel the frustration in that quote. It doesn't compute. You're making millions, actual millions of dollars, and you're going to throw it all away for what's basically pocket change to these guys? It is just baffling.
But the theory around Damon Jones, that takes things to a whole nother level. The hosts were speculating that he wasn't just another bettor, he was maybe an inside source. They even called him the Nancy Pelosi of sports betting, basically saying he might have been using privileged, behind-the-scenes info to get an edge.
All right, so let's shift gears completely. We're moving from a crime that could literally land you in court to what you might call the ultimate sports crime, arguing about who is the GOAT.
So first up, we've got a classic clash of eras. In one corner, you have Tracy McGrady, a walking highlight reel, the guy whose big moments are just burned into every fan's memory. And in the other corner, you've got James Harden, the modern pioneer who basically changed how the game is played, perfecting the step back and becoming a master at drawing fouls.
So here's where the debate really gets interesting. T-Mac gave us one of the most unbelievable scoring bursts ever, 13 points in 33 seconds. It's an iconic moment, but the big knock on him is that his teams could never get out of the first round of the playoffs. Then you have Harden, a regular season monster whose unique style got his teams deep into the playoffs, but who often seemed to struggle when the pressure was at its absolute highest. So what do you value more? An unforgettable flash of brilliance or sustained, if maybe flawed, success?
Then the argument jumped over to the football field. On one side, you've got Chad Ochocinco, the master craftsman, a receiver who could get open with just flawless route running and incredible hands. And on the other side, Tyreek Hill, who's just a physical freak of nature, whose entire game is built around one terrifying superpower, pure, game-breaking speed. So who do you take, the artist or the atomic bomb?
And really, when you get down to it, all these debates kind of point to the same thing. It's almost impossible to compare different eras. The host made the point that today's athletes, they're just a different breed. It's not about disrespecting the legends, it's just recognizing that the evolution of training, nutrition, and strategy has completely changed the game.
So after all that talk about the past and the present, the entire conversation took a hard turn, focusing on one single player who just might define the future of the sport. And it's funny, all those arguments, all those debates, they just stopped. They stopped the second the topic turned to the rookie phenom from France. The hype around this kid is unlike anything we've seen in a long, long time.
And well, that raw, unfiltered reaction pretty much says it all. After watching Wemby just completely dominate a game, not just score, but impose his will against a top-tier defender, the hosts were just left in total shock.
What's wild is how fast the opinion on Wembanyama shifted. At first, the hosts were kind of getting annoyed, watching him just hang out in the perimeter, shooting threes. But then came one game where you went into the paint and just dominated against an elite defender. That one performance completely flipped the switch for them, turning all that skepticism into pure belief.
At the end of the day, it really just comes down to this. We have never,
ever seen a player this tall who can do, as the host put it, absolutely everything. His potential isn't just to be another great player, it's to be something the game of basketball has literally never seen before.
But, and it's a huge but, all of that unbelievable potential comes with one massive question mark, and it's a question that reminds everyone of another recent phenom, Zion Williamson. Both guys came into the league with off-the-charts hype, and both of them faced the exact same challenge, their own bodies. It's the ultimate fight in sports, right? Can this transcendent talent overcome physical limits?
And that really brings us to the final question. As we look ahead, what actually matters more? Is it the incredible, tantalizing promise of what a player could be, or is it the proven on-court performance from the players who can actually stay in the game? The answer to that is probably going to define the next decade of sports.